Hello everybody, Professor Miller here. Quick little calculator lesson for us because I get asked this a lot, even though you've all had 3123 and you have familiarity with the TIBA2 plus. But let's just run through a few things here. Um, First thing that people ask me all the time is how do you change the decimal places from 2 to 4? And here's the decimal place right here. If you hit second and hit decimal place, it's going to says format, and it says decimals up here, and then you hit how many you want, say 4, and then we enter, and now we have 4 decimal places. Okay, now I want to show you how to price a bond with this. This is really important. Uh, you have to be able to be just really good at this, all right? I mean, there's no two ways around it for Chapter 10. You have to be an expert at using your calculator to price a bond. So one of the first things to do is set your calculator on the second IY. There's a PY over the top. That should be 2 because the bond pays 2 payments a year, all right? What this does is help us with the calculation of the yield to maturity. But let's clear this out. Let's just work on this problem here. Coupon rate is 6%, face value is 1,000, years to maturity 20, yield to maturity is 8. Now, because I've set the PY equal to 2, I can just enter 8 as the interest rate. But the rest of the problem, I can enter 1,000 as the face value. Now the payment, coupon rate is 6%. 6% of 1,000 is 60. We get 2 coupon payments a year, so we get $30 per coupon payment. So we put 30 under payment. We have 20 years to maturity. That's 40 periods. And now we're ready to compute the price of the bond. Compute present value. 802 or 802.07. And now, if we want to change the interest rate, say the yield to maturity goes to, well, if it goes to 6%, we know the price will be 1,000, right? Let's just check it out. Compute present value. Look at that. Now, you can't see my decimal place very well, but it's right there. So let's say the interest rate yield to maturity goes to not down to 100 basis points, but up 200 basis points, goes from 8 to 10. Put 10 in here, compute present value, 656.8183. I'm sorry you can't see the decimal place very well, but you can see yours on your calculator. Okay, so let's go reverse, all right? Let's just clear out. And one of the things we can do a lot, or sometimes I get asked about, is if you go second, reset, that is the simplest way to clear everything out of your calculator. Say enter for yes. Now everything's cleared out, everything, including the PY is set back to 1, so I have to set that to 2. Okay, so let's do this. Let's calculate the yield to maturity given a price of 802.07. 802.07. Change the sign, present value. Present value has to have an opposite sign of payment and opposite sign of future value. Payment and future value have the same sign. We know the payment each time is 30. The face value of this bond is 1,000. The number of coupon payments is 40. So now what we can do is compute the yield to maturity by saying compute IY. We should get 8%. Let's just see. Compute 8%. All right. So that's not a surprise to us. All right. Now, what happens if you set this PY equal to 1 instead? All right. And so we've got everything else entered. All right. So if we say compute IY, it'll give us 4% because that says that's just one payment per year. So then you'd have to double it. times 2 to get your true yield to maturity. So using that second PY thing helps you keep the interest rate. You don't have to divide the interest rate by 2, basically is what that does. You do have to multiply years to maturity by 2 and then calculate the dollar value of each semi-annual coupon. So my advice to you is to get really good at this so that you can clear out your calculator. Okay, so second, where's this at here? Second, reset, enter. Okay, and then you should be able to just put these numbers in and bam, get a price of 80207 in just no time. All right, so 2, enter, doink. 40 is N, IY is 8%, the payment is $30, the future value or the face value, I mean, is 1,000, compute bond price 80207. You have to be that fast at it to be effective. So good luck with bond pricing.